We better change that song. Hey, we are live. We are getting onto Clubhouse. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I kind of have the room almost ready.
I'm gonna have to pull this.
All right, y'all. This is Trey. This is the beautiful Tiffany. Tiffany, you go first, girl. I'm gonna keep.
Hi, how you guys doing? Welcome to another talk with T&T. My name is Tiffany Renee. I am an online health coach for women entrepreneurs, as well as a juice bar owner.
All right, there's a button. What? Oh. A big green one. Start the room. Oh, go ahead and introduce yourself, girl.
Hi, everyone.
I'm gonna turn off this music.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Renee. I am an online health coach for women entrepreneurs, and I also am getting ready to open up a juice bar this summer. I'm excited for another week. This is our third week doing this, and yeah, I'm just
you got to get in the Clubhouse room. It's all right, girl. That's what we're here to laugh.
Laugh and learn.
Yes, that's all right, but I got you.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to pull this
up. Clubhouse. Thank you. We're at the Laugh and Learn. Hi. Welcome. We are just kicking off our Laugh and Learn. Tiffany's getting ready to join the room any second now, and we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on the Twitter. We are so grateful. Oh my gosh, now I lost her off of the StreamYard. We are just popping off and on all over. So, y'all, this is Trey coming at you with some Trey Talk on a Wednesday. It is Laugh and Learn Lunch with Tiffany and Trey. And there's Tiffany. Now she's on the Clubhouse. Now we just got to get her back on the StreamYard. So you got to hear partially what she does. So while she's getting back on the StreamYard, I am going to continue to let you know that I am an alternative health specialist. I am an internationally known medicine woman. Why? Because I am an energy master. I have learned not only to heal myself after being paralyzed in a car accident and being told I would never walk again. I gave them a double backflip on that. And I am here to help others, empower them to heal anything that holds them back from living their best life. So, all right, Tiff, I'm going to hand it back to you, girl. Oh, are you in the Clubhouse?
It says I'm backstage. Oh, never mind. Here we are. Should I do the introduction one more time?
Well, for Clubhouse room, yeah. But
okay.
Facebook, all the rest of you don't mind seeing her beautiful face and hearing her lovely voice again, do you?
For the third time. So, hi, everyone. My name is Tiffany Renee. I am an online health and wellness coach for women entrepreneurs, as well as I'm getting ready to open up a juice bar this summer in my hometown of Flint, Michigan.
Yay! Oh, are we getting feedback?
It should be fine now.
Oh my gosh, are we getting feedback? Okay, I think we should be good now. Okay, yay! All right, y'all. I am so excited to be here. And you got to hear a little bit about me because, oh my gosh, this week has been so much energy. How many of y'all, raise your hands, been feeling so much stuff? Have you been coming up with old thoughts? All of this thing like, oh my gosh,
yes.
Old triggers, stuff you thought had healed. There's this weird insecurities out of nowhere. There's all this emotional and mental stuff going on. Well, I'm here to let you know that we are all swimming in the same energy. And so it is not just you. It is all of us. It is myself included. It is my clients. It is I have a shamanic mentor because, we all should have mentors, right? So in my energy work, I have a shamanic mentor. He's a generational Navajo medicine man, pure Navajo. And he did a live. Garrett Duncan, I call him G-Dog. I call him all kinds of things. Well, Garrett did a live yesterday, helping remind us all that this is a psyche we're swimming in. And guess what's going on right now? We are in the midst of a reprogramming that is causing all of us to deconstruct the thoughts and patterns, the programs, the problems, the projection, because you know how we project our stuff on other people. That's what we are. We're mirrors, not only outwardly, but as a reflection to other people. So this is what we're doing right now. We are in the midst of this pain body that is coming up because it is time to release those old programs. It is time to release the problems the things that we perceived as problems, right? The old patterns that we have been given by our parents, from their parents, from the parents before them, right? Not only generationally, but on all these different layers and levels through our DNA and historically, right? So it is time for that pain body to get reprogrammed. So, girl, I don't know about you, but I'm handing it back to you because I want to hear what you got to say about this.
Yes. I feel like honestly the past few weeks has been like that for me. Like it's just been a lot, like you said, a lot of energy, a lot of like emotions coming up. I feel very like anxious. I've been very anxious from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And I've been really like having to do, I feel like so much energy work to where I'm like exhausted, like at the end of every day, like emotionally exhausted. Not really physically, but a lot emotionally exhausted because I'm just constantly checking myself all day. Like when that negative thought comes up, trying to reprogramming it. And I've been having to do it way more lately. So it's for
Yes.
sure been a lot. It's for sure been a lot.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it has been almost so. Sunday, it was like almost the height of it. And I wasn't sure because, okay, y'all, I got exposed to COVID on Tuesday. So
Wow.
I, being a safe citizen, me and my baby, we went into quarantine. And so that means she missed all of the Easter activities and all of that. But Easter Bunny still showed up. So yay for Easter Bunny. And so it was so hard. So I didn't know if I was feeling this weirdness that from having been kind of missed out and I hadn't even wanted to participate in family stuff for a few years. So this was going to be my first time in probably 2 or 3 years that I wanted to engage with the family, go dye eggs, hang around all my grandkids, who are great, and my great grandkids, and really have this fun vibe. So I was kind of like, whoa, when I'm finally after a few years ready. So I didn't know if it was my own mental stuff, but then all of this other stuff started coming up. And, I felt like I had done a lot of work around my mom. So my mom and I have came to an agreement years ago that after I created life standards. So in my life, I really got to know myself. And I said, the people in my life need to show up for me. They need to have my back because why I have abandonment issues, why I had all these other things going on, right? Hi, welcome in, Ricardo, on Clubhouse. So like I
Hey,
had all these things
welcome.
going on, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to experience this. And I kept fighting for my mom's attention and I couldn't figure out why she, like, these energies didn't feel right. So finally, after all these conversations, she finally admitted that she never wanted to have kids. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. That's why I've always had this weird energy, like you didn't want me around, that you didn't really like me. But it really wasn't me. I discovered it was so freeing because then I discovered it was her energy, that she was with her own unhappiness on her choices or decisions, right? I just happened to be a product of it. So it wasn't directly me. So then as we kept moving forward and I did more healing and stuff and gained awareness, I created these standards that says the people in my life, I don't care what title you hold, you don't get to treat me no kind of way. So in my life, in order to be in my inner circle, you have to be supportive. You have to be encouraging. You have to, be honest, but in a kind, gentle way. You know what I mean? And not in a belittling way. And so I started presenting these questions to my mom. I'm like, okay, so mom, would you be able to have my back? So for me, that means not let your husband keep putting me down and belittling me and calling me names like a teenager, even though he's a 40-something-year-old man, right? You got to be able to say, can we just change the conversation? Can we, anything? And she didn't answer. So those of us who know people who don't give you an affirmed yes, they are giving you an answer. It may just not be verbal. So then I went on to the next question. I was like, well, all right, mom, I need the people in my life to ... Is this something you're willing to do? And she was like, no. And then so I said, well, there's really no reason to continue on. So can we just both agree that maybe you were just here to bring me into this earth, and that now I am going to honor you, because, we're here to honor our mothers and fathers. And I'm going to honor you by allowing you not to have to parent me because you didn't want to be a mother. And in return, you're going to allow me to have the freedom to not feel responsible and have all of this other stuff that you put on me, right? That we just are going to say we're good, right? And then we both agreed. We both agreed, and now we see each other just like friends. And I'm like, oh, hey mom. Even though I use the word mom, it's just like, hey friend, or hey person I know. But there's no animosity, there's no underlying stuff, right? So I have moved forward in this way for many, many years. Shoot, almost a decade easily. And the other day, I'm taking baby girl to school, the day before yesterday, on Monday. And then all of a sudden we're talking, because she's also a product of two parents who not only didn't want to take care of her, but are unable to, you know what I mean? So that's why I get the gift of getting able to have her precious self with me. So her and I are going to school. So we get to have these talks about moms not showing up for us, right? And commonalities. And something she said made me start bawling. And I was bawling from a place that I didn't even think was mine, and later found out I think it was my mom. My mom's dying of stage 4 cancer. It's metastasized all over her whole body. She's in hospice. She's literally in her last days. So I'm feeling like that was an energy hit, that she's deep in thought about things, and I had to move that energy. But that's been layers and layers, right? Do you have any common stories, Tiff?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
I got to
so about that.
The first thing I wanted to ask / comment on was you said like underlying that your mom never wanted kids. So like, even do you feel like, I guess we can keep using your situation as an example, but do you feel like even if she did love you or did nice gestures for you, that energy was still like very, very present? Like, I don't know if I'm asking that correctly. So like, she would have to heal her not wanting kids for you to be able to have that full relationship.
Definitely. So definitely it showed up in so many ways. And this was why I was like, oh my gosh, even from the time when she combed my hair, if she had to, and I had this crazy curly nappy hair that she didn't know how to deal with. She had straight hair, and all of the other girls had straight hair, right? There was like all of these things that I could feel. And after years of counseling and through therapists, I discovered that really I probably perceived all of this energetically in vitro, because through the whole time we were pregnant, she's like, oh my God, I don't want to have another kid. Why does this keep happening? Even though she knew we all know how it kept happening. She was a Catholic, practicing Catholic. So, there's all these things I felt on all layers and levels throughout my whole entire time ever, even being around her, and even in how she communicated anything. There was always an underlying, like it was a burden, or like why do I have to deal with this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that I'm glad you said that. Thank you for being open to that, because I want to go journal myself about my experiences now, because as we're talking about just the energies, the different energies and things like that as I'm home. For those of you who don't know, I live in Atlanta, but I'm now back home for the year to open up the juice bar. So I feel like I am consuming so many different energies now because I'm really in it, and I feel like I'm more aware now. So now that I'm here and I'm experiencing all these different relationships again, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems different. Like, I've known these people my entire life, they're my family. But now that I'm in this space again, it just seems so different, and I'm just viewing it from a different standpoint, and I'm like feeling all of this energy. So that's definitely something I want to journal and look into over the next couple days, weeks, for sure.
Definitely. So this is what is in there. So now knowing that it isn't just us, right? There's this energy, and he didn't say, normally he's like, oh, there's a planetary shift going on. There's it's a full moon energy that's in whatever house, and all of these things are really happening, because it's proven fact the moon things affected the water, they affect the ocean. All of this thing has effects on other areas. So energetically, it's pushing and realigning things in addition to us. Welcome, welcome.
Hi.
So glad to have you at Clubhouse, John Cott, just trying to say it.
Yay.
So welcome, welcome. So we're talking about programming, projections, problems, and patterns, because these pain bodies are coming up for healing right now, because we're in the middle of reprogramming, deconstructing all of these foundational thoughts and feelings, right? Because this is what's coming up, those feelings of why I've always felt unloved, why I always felt that I was unlovable, right? Because I had a mother who didn't want to love me. The one person who I spent the majority of my time with, the energy was not there because she did not want to have kids. It wasn't about me. So this energy is really, for me, it's foundational. So it came all through in vitro. The whole time she carried me, she repeatedly thought and cried. And my aunties validated this for me. Her sisters were like, oh yeah, your mom, when she was crying, it was horrible. She da 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 da. So they helped validate for me through therapy, when the therapist started bringing up this other stuff. And she was like, well, do you think maybe that this energy, because we're learning more now about thoughts and how thoughts affect the baby. And this was like over 15 years ago, right? So now the science around that has grown even more, validating that what your parents are thinking and feeling, you get when you are conceived, not just the beautiful hair and your beautiful features and all of these things. So as we're going through all of this energy and feeling this bubble up and boil over, you guys, we got to get happy, because what is this doing? Really, it's this energy that's coming up for you to let go. It just wants to heal. That's why it's there in your consciousness, because it wants to be addressed. It wants to be dealt with. And if especially like we were talking about stuff from childhood that we're like, whoa, what? And there's this weird stuff or belief systems going on now that I might not be worthy to have this stuff, or this imposter syndrome that keeps going around. What do I think I'm doing? Who am I to be doing this or saying this? Or I don't know. You know what I mean? It's really good. How are you experiencing that imposter syndrome?
I think something else I want to add on to that is like, we need to be aware that even if you do try to move past something, it's going to come up in a different form somehow, some way. So when it does come up, even though it feels uncomfortable, it's best to just feel it now and reframe it and be like, what's that about? And figure it out right now, so that you don't have to keep going through it. Because I've seen it time and time again, like whether it's relationships, you may have Jim today and then you leave him, and then you have John 2 years down the line and he's the same type of guy, So that's just an example with relationships, but just in general, you'll keep experiencing and encountering the same type of situations, whether it's a job. You didn't like the job because it was because of this reason. You keep going and applying the jobs and getting the jobs that have that same issue. Like, so you're going to keep experiencing those same things unless you heal it. And it's not happening to you because it's like, oh, you deserve this shitty life or you deserve these shitty circumstances. It's happening because like God and the universe wants you to get it, wants you to see it, and wants you to reframe it. So they're going to keep giving you that same situation, like, hey, I'm trying to help you change. Hey, I'm trying, like, and if you're not getting it, you're just going to keep having to go through it. So it's best to just, everything you're feeling right now, like I said, it's a lot of energy going on. We're all feeling stuff a lot. It's best to just feel into it, journal, talk about it, reframe it, like get over it now rather than having to go through this next year, the same situations,
Yes, get over it now. Oh my gosh, I'm like, please don't make me sit in this any longer. So this is so perfect that we're leading into this, because this is the whole thing. Unless you allow yourself to feel it, sit in it, it is not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be an underlying boil that's going to keep coming up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, until you allow yourself to sit with it, to cry the tears, to process the pain, to see the programming, allow yourself to perceive how it's manifested in you, because you're projecting this pain somehow, some way, And then once you have gotten clarity of the, or some, and even some, you don't even have to have it all. As soon as you start gaining some of the clarity, oh my gosh, this comes from this. Oh my gosh. And it makes me feel like I'm unlovable or whatever, like my situation that I was talking about. And then you know that you have to let it move. So ways that you can, your mental body and your emotional body can release is by using rattles, by using and I had all of them right here because I actually gave myself a ceremonial session earlier. So there's things that can help. So I have a little rattle, and I have my singing bowl, and I have my, like my other, my bingo balls, and that make noise. And so what happens is energetically it starts helping underneath from your cellular level. Your mental body and your emotional body can finally start releasing that. So as it's best to do it when you're in the process of crying, because it's so on the forefront, and then it just helps it lift away. And then there's so many other things you do. Okay, so me, I have this lit. I lit it earlier because I knew I needed it. I have my because for me, I use all the elements. I use air, fire, water, earth to help ground, transmute, burn away. And then I give that candle permission to burn away anything that doesn't serve my highest and greatest good, because I want it to be gone now. Right. And so as you're releasing, know that you are really freeing up space. You're freeing up thoughts. You're freeing up emotional space, physical space. So what are you going to do with this now? It is so, so, so important that as you're letting this release go and knowing that you've finished crying the tears and doing the rattling or the shaking or the running or the whatever bath, maybe sweat lodge, something to help you release on all levels, right? Then know that you have freed up all this space. So please, please, this is your time to reintegrate what you want. This is the time where you get to reformulate the new perspective, the new thoughts, the new ways, the new words. So then you start, even these are what I like to do. And this is straight from Garrett Duncan. So this is going to help this expansion. We start with the I am statement. So first we start with, I allow the miracle. Because once you give yourself permission to allow stuff to come in, you begin the opening. So again, I allow the miracles. Next, I am the miracle. Just going to say it together. I am the miracle.
The miracle.
And then we're next going to go, I allow the flow.
I allow the flow.
I am the fluidity.
I am the fluidity.
And then we're just going to keep rocking this. So we're just going to keep going back when, as you're freeing this, keep. So then what happens is you get this new synergy, right? And these new things fill up all of that empty spot.
There's power
right?
in
So
our
then
words.
You get to start really getting excited that you know you are really the miracle for someone. Someone can only relate to you and your story the way you tell it with your words in your way, right, Tiff?
Yeah. I want to say something about speaking because I already feel different just by saying those things. I felt my energy shift a little bit. But I'm a Christian. I don't know if you guys are either, but I feel like you guys can still relate to this. So in the beginning of the Bible, and rock with me on this. In the beginning of the Bible, the first, God created the earth. He was speaking it into existence. He said, "Let there be light. Let there be this. Let there be that." He was speaking it all. And if God is within us, then that means we can literally speak our life into existence. Like, so the power of the words, like God is within us. So the power of our words are very, very strong, and it's very, very real. So whatever you're speaking, like, be very aware of, like, what you're saying and the type of vibration that holds, because we have the power of God within us. And if he can create, we don't have his power at that magnitude, and we have limitations on ours. But if he has the power to speak this whole world into existence, what type of power do you think we have in this physical, like material world that he's created? So just be very aware. I just want to throw that in there. Like when you're speaking, make sure you're speaking life and you're speaking what you want to see, even if you don't feel that way right now. Like you have to feel it first for it to materialize. You have to know that it's real before it can be very real for you first. Because if it's not in your sphere and you're not thinking about it, it can't come to you. So I just wanted to put that out there about speaking it and allowing it.
Exactly. And some of us, we don't even know. Because, like me, I was, until I probably, I would say, even in the last 2 or 3 years, I had no idea what my purpose was. But like my sister, she's passed away. She likes to come to me energetically a lot. But she knew when she was born that she wanted to be a cosmetologist. She spent her whole life uh, grooming all the dolls' hairs, doing their nail, doing everything right. She did it her whole life. By the time she graduated high school, she had finished all of her high school credits early and did her last year at just getting her license for cosmetology. And then she rocked it for her whole life, loved it every single day. And I kept feeling like, why don't I know? Why don't I know what I'm supposed to do? Why am I still so confused? Why don't I have a clue of, and the one thing I thought I wanted to do, I wanted to be a ballerina. And my dad told me when I was 4 that I didn't have the body for it. So then I couldn't do it. And then something in me broke when that happened. And I know I had to do, that was what I did my timeline therapy recently, uh, regression thing on, because that has been a foundational trade. You don't do it because you don't that's a just you don't, whether it's the body for it, the brains for it, whatever, it's always stopped there. And so it was such a crazy awareness to understand the power of words, because I know my dad had no idea that those words would impact the forward motion for his daughter for years to come, right? So as you start figuring out what you want to do, let your body tell you, because it's going to start getting excited about some of the thoughts you have. And those are your guides to gently lean into, of the
Mm-hmm.
things that are helpful or that are going to be beneficial for you. A lot of us don't pay attention to the communication from the people around us who are always saying, oh, you're so organized. You're such a good blah, blah, blah. You do this so well. Those are your little keys to your recipe. And this is where you start formulating, well, these people say that I'm good. And even if you don't believe it, because this is what I realized, I didn't believe the things that people said. I say it's just like the person who's overweight and then she loses weight and then people tell her she's beautiful, but she doesn't believe it of herself. It won't matter how many people tell you you're beautiful. Until you believe it yourself, then it's never going to fit. It's never going to feel right. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
foreign. And these are how you start navigating what you should be doing. The things that are inside of you that excite you, that maybe you don't give yourself permission to own the value that you provide, right?
I like that. I like that. Give yourself permission to own the value you provide. That's awesome. No, because I love how you said like it doesn't matter what people say to you. If you don't believe it, it's not going to be true. But the vice versa, like if you believe it, it doesn't matter what anyone says, it doesn't matter what the world looks like, it doesn't matter what the circumstances look like. If you truly believe that, the how and the when is going to show up for you. But if you don't believe it, then it doesn't matter what the world or anything else says because that's going to be true too. So, yeah, just keep just trying to keep adding that perspective of like how powerful we really are in creating our realities. And just to add more perspective to that, like where we are right now in our lives, wherever you are right now, whether it's a place you want to be, a place you don't want to be, or just an in between spot, like you manifested being here by your thoughts, what you were believing, the actions that you were taking, because 95% of everything that we do every single day is subconscious. So, like, it's so important, again, to check your actions and your thoughts, because your thoughts align with your actions. So everything that you have right now, everything that you've done up until this point, this moment right now, is because of your thoughts and the way you saw life and your perspective. So that should be powerful in itself. It shouldn't be said to discourage you, but or make you upset or be like, damn, I should be further in life. But it should feel powerful because you now know moving forward, like it can be whatever you want it to be. Like literally.
Exactly. And the power in that is knowing that, or just believing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be,
Yes.
exactly when you're supposed to be there. And this is exactly why, so that you could have either gained all the wisdom that you needed to, so that you could have the experiences that you needed to have, so that you could overcome whatever you needed to overcome to make the recipe that's going to create your greatness. Because all of these initiations go into our wisdom bank, and these are what we draw on when we move into our passion and our purpose. They all happen just for us. And this is what I love, what you were saying earlier. It is so true that so I believe, or I kind of say it differently. I say that we will continue to get the same experience until we gain the wisdom and apply the lesson. So you will get it in a different person, in a different place, in a different way, until you get the wisdom and
I
apply
like
it.
that.
And
Yeah.
then you will stop attracting it. Because either way, no matter what perception or word you put around it, we have come here to ascend. We have come here to evolve. We have come here committed to purpose. So when you are not living your purpose, then you are not happy. You are not, you're physically not experiencing the highest vibration that you could, right? Because when you move in alignment to your passion and your purpose, then that's a whole different vibration. It's a whole different synergy. And is it perfect? No. We are still here having a human existence. We're still here to have the moments of impact that are going to keep gaining the wisdom until the day we leave this earth. Because I feel like that's when you get to go, unless some people get to go to leave early or something. You're here to keep gaining whatever you needed for this level. And that until you get that wisdom and pass that, you're going to keep getting these experiences. But once you change your mindset, once you realize your words have put you exactly where you are, good or bad, or I don't perceive good or bad, I just perceive that it's what's happening, it's what is. So just know that anything that you're experiencing that you don't like, or any reflection that you're seeing, it could be shifted like that. Because first you just have to gain awareness that it's happening, and then you're like, oh, I don't like the way that looks. Then you have to get really clear on what you want to see, what you want to feel, and what you want to experience. So then you could go, oh, I want people of integrity who are joyful and lighthearted, or whatever it is, right? That fits your next envisionment. Or for me, like, I'm like, oh, I just see myself on a stage with people in the audience, people clapping, right? I see myself, my TV show, I'm accepting a great honor and award. Have these things happen? No, but I'm going to create them. Why? Because I see that that's where I want to go. That excites me. That makes me feel really excited compared to,
Really?
oh my gosh, I don't know, I better hurry and make some more calls, or I better make some more contacts, or right? That don't feel good. And
It doesn't.
do we have to show up for ourselves? Yes, but we also have to make time to envision and reformulate our new future with limitless possibilities, because God is infinite. There's no cap on nothing when it
That's
comes
really
to
true.
ultimate source power. Nope. Healing, monetary, whatever.
How do you
Infinite,
find the
right?
balance between or you and your own journey so far, how do you find the balance, or how have you found the balance between letting things flow and trusting that the opportunities and the people and whatever you need will find you, will align with you, and also being like that person that's faith without works is dead. So you have to put yourself out there and do things. So how have you found that um fine line between that?
Oh, that's a good question. And before I used to let my mind make my decisions,
Mhm.
and I made way more mistakes. And now what I do is I create sacred space all the time. I go into prayer and I go into the experience. So for instance, I just got done crying with my sister because my sister and I we're planning a trip for next month, and now I'm
Mhm.
just feeling like spirit is realigning stuff, and I feel like God's like, you're not going to get to go on that trip. And then the part of me that's like stomping her feet going, you don't get to take this away from me, because again I'm like, no, are you punishing me? Don't do this. Didn't I'm right? then
Right, yeah.
then
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, I have to. Again, I always gently put my hands together and I just breathe, because when you breathe, you could let that mental disturbance and the emotional turmoil go away. And then that's when you realign with spirit, and then the four bodies get all together. And then I ask for whatever serves my highest and greatest good. And then I go back into the what I want to see for myself. And
Mm.
when you start using words like whatever serves the my highest and greatest good in everyone who's involved, you'll feel an energetic shift. And then that little girl that's stomping her feet, she got to see that you're probably going to be busy doing production shoots for your television show,
Yes.
which you said you wanted to get kicking off, right? So Vacation with Sister TV show. Vacation with Sister TV show, right? So then I had to go, the little girl in me wants to go on vacation with Sister. But the adult driving the bus knows I have worked my whole life to get to this TV show, and I could vacation with Sister for as long as she's here on this earth. So in the long and short of it is stop thinking, start feeling, because your body and your
Stop
emotions
thinking,
are
start
more in
feeling.
alignment with where you should be going than your mind. Your mind is here for the three things: to teach you, to protect you, and to motivate you.
Mm.
That's it. And that's why it's always freaking you the fuck out.
That's so wow, that's so crazy that yeah, like one like did you just say the emotions is like here in the physical because this is what we see and it's like, wow, dang, this make me feel like this. But when you stop and you like, oh, hold on, let me go up. Like it can change that and it's that's so interesting. I never thought about it like that. Like so your emotions really can fool you like into thinking that this is real. What you've created is like real or like this is like your end. Yeah.
Definitely. Do you want to know why? Definitely. Because your emotions in this physical body is a chronological housing for every moment of impact you've ever had. So anytime you've ever felt bad, anytime anybody's ever hurt your feelings, time anybody's ever um, emotionally made you happy, sad, whatever, it's remembered it. But not only has it remembered it, it has told your physical body, when I had that happen, I remember smelling popcorn. Or when I had this happen, I remember I heard a train or
Mm.
whatever. So then it lodges all of this information. So for instance, for some people, like I'm an anxiety coach. This is how it slowly starts to simmer, and I help people with the root cause, because then they start to go, oh my gosh, you know what? I did hear a train, and then all of a sudden I started feeling, and then I whatever, right? So then the mind immediately goes into protect mode. All right, something feels not safe. You better hurry and run, or hurry and da 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 da. And then your physical body starts panicking and adrenaline and or the sadness or the tears or whatever, right? That coincide with the emotion, the all the other senses, the
Mm-hmm.
sound, smell, whatever that you heard at the time. Heck yeah, trying to hold us back.
And it gets a little messy. Like if this is your first time really bringing awareness into your body, you're understanding how this all works. It's a little messy at first because you're learning, like just like anything else. When you're learning how to ride a bike, when you're learning how to speak, when you're learning a new language, whatever it is, like it's messy at first. Like you're like, how do I do this? Okay, this sounds about right. This looks about right. Okay, it worked now. Oh, wait, it didn't work. Like just it's that constant like tug and pull for a while, but you'll eventually get it. One day it'll just click and it'll just be automatic now. But that's what I'm experiencing right now myself. Is like now that I'm like really really starting to be in tune with myself. I'm realizing that it's kind of like some days I got it, or some moments I have it, some moments I don't. Some moments I have it, some moments I don't. So it's like a constant like constant thing. But what I'm also realizing though is like there's always going to be something else to learn on this journey. As long as you're breathing and there's air moving through your lungs, there will be something else that you will need to learn and
Yes.
heal. So I think that's important to tell people too, that although you may have all the awareness about yourself, you may feel like you know everything about yourself, but there will always be another thing to heal from, another thing to learn, another thing to overcome.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just a lifelong journey. Never think that it's gonna be an ending and then it's gonna be just all good after that. Like no, you're even
Nope.
even if you have so much awareness and you're so spiritually in tune, you're still gonna have to experience bad moments or moments that aren't pleasant to you, but know that it's all a part of the journey.
Exactly. And the best part is understanding that every time you just get the awareness sooner, and then you get it faster, and then you get to celebrate the fact that instead of taking 3 years, it only took me 3 days or
Yep.
3 hours or 3 minutes, compared to having put up with craziness for way too long. Because I'm a hardhead, I'm loyal as heck, I am so like committed. And so when you are loyal and committed, it's sometimes hard to remember that you have to constantly be reassessing where you're at and your environment. Is it
Mhm.
serving you? Is it not serving you? We are just like seasons. Sometimes the things we need in the summer isn't what we need in the winter. Sometimes we need to withdraw, and sometimes we need more interaction, right?
Yep.
And just know that you get to keep doing it, keep, and I don't want to say try, we get to keep showing up for ourselves and having as much fun as we can. Because I like to always say, every morning I'm going to whatever amusement park I'm going to, right? And today the amusement park might be of finances, the amusement park might be of creating my show and production, the fun, you might be in collaborating or network, it might be whatever, or it might be going to multiple different things. Either way, it's like, it's not going to stop. That life is going to happen to all of us.
Yep.
The only thing that we get to change is how we perceive it and what we do with it when it happens. So when you give yourself permission to cry the tears and have those moments of impact, be the straw instead of just holding it, because that's what we're all taught. We're not taught how to release, we're just taught
Yes.
how to hold the impact. And even for a lot of us, nature says that our body should be shaking, and that's why we have trauma, and it's trying to release, just like the ducks. But what do they do when they take you to the emergency room or get the ER? They immediately give you medication to stop the vibrating, because they want you to stop. But what it's doing when they stop you from letting that vibration continue to release, it's holding it in your cellular structure. So now you get just to hold that trauma. And that's why people have hard times after car accidents or different, like having their leg broke or different moments of impact, because they're given all this stuff that to hold all of that impact within you, mentally, emotionally, physically. And even though it will heal physically, the cellular impact is still there, which causes discomfort and weird emotional or mental things come up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is good. This is good. Oh, we have the most people we've ever had in our room right now.
Yeah. Hey, Chrissy, out there in Clubhouse
This
Land?
is
Thanks for joining
awesome.
us.
Do you guys have any questions, like just about health and healing the body or anything like that? I think that would be cool to hear back from some people too.
Yes, that's so great. And we have so many awesome comments here. Oh, look, she wants to have something to say. Welcome up, Chrissy. Thank you for joining us. Okay, we're going to see if I could get this on here so you could hear Chrissy. So go ahead.
Okay. Can we hear her? Uh-oh.
Did she come up?
Yep, she did. She did.
Okay.
Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Trey. Hi, Tiffany. How are you? Good. How are you? I'm just dandy. Thank you. So I do have a question. I have a friend who has a kidney disease. Are there any things that you guys know of that are food related, or even like, natural things that, she could actually do? So, of course, with a kidney disease, there are so many dietary restrictions that they have because their kidneys can't process through, lots of potassium, lots of meat products, of course, and things of that nature. So, yeah, any suggestions, recommendations for anything like that? That's my question.
Yes, this is perfect for us. Yes. So,
Yay.
the first thing I'm going to say, so I practice nutrition and training people in a more holistic viewpoint, or from a holistic standpoint. So, if you did not know, most of all diseases, things with your body, with your skin, everything starts from your gut and how you take care of your gut. So, like you were saying, like she has kidney disease and she has a lot of dietary restrictions because her body can't handle that. My first thing would be to eat more alkaline forming foods, um so that your body needs to be alkaline to keep it from diseases and to heal it from diseases. So that would be the first thing that came to my mind, just eating more alkaline foods in her diet, for sure, if she's trying to do it the natural way and get off of the medicines. Because and I actually worked at a pharmacy for a while, and I learned that the pharmaceutical industry is one of the biggest industries, if not the biggest industry in America. They make so much money, trillions of dollars, and they are not curing the issue. I think I'm trying to say they're just treating it. So they want you to keep coming back and having to take their medicine and giving you like a band-aid over the problem rather than actually getting to the root cause of it and fixing it. And if you guys did not know either, a lot of like the food industry, they are backing these cancers and things like that. Like they're giving them money and backing it. So like the meat industries and all these different industries, they are literally backing a lot of these cancers. And with God, this is crazy. They're with like these different organizations and things like that to keep it going. Like it's a money machine. It's making them money. So if she's taking medicine, I please talk to your doctor. Don't take what I'm saying, but I would say to stop taking her medicine and start having more of an alkaline diet, and exercising, of course, and things like that. I don't know if you want to add anything, Trey.
Oh, definitely. You know me. I always want to add something. Okay, beautiful. So I want to address the mental and emotional cause of kidney disease. So if you are interested, or is it your friend you said?
Yeah, her friend.
Either way, so your friend, either way, whoever it is that's suffering from the kidney problem, I really encourage you to invest in a book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And it is by a woman, Karen Truman, Karen with a K, Truman. And in here, kidney problems are specifically least connected mentally and emotionally to the book. It says, it gives like kind of brief descriptions. It says insensitivity to situations where caring and concern should be exhibited, trying to control life, being over judgmental, feeling emotionally confusion, deep subconscious resentment towards people and experiences of the past, unfounded criticism of others, repressed emotions. Sister friend, if you're friend is exhibiting any of these, and it may not be all of them, but it may be some of them, this is really the root cause of the kidney disease. All disease comes from thoughts and emotions. So when you really address the thoughts and emotions, the disease will disappear. I actually helped my niece who had 2 kidneys fail, and she is in her freaking 30s. And I helped her. Now she's thriving, but she got to her emotional issues and she realized she had a lot of unresolved mom stuff and resentments and stuff. So I really encourage to also not only shift your diet, or help her shift her diet, but then also help that mental and emotional, or else it will just keep coming back, honey.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that helpful?
That is definitely something that she and I have talked about, because that disease, actually, it's called polycystic kidney disease. So it actually runs in her family, but there's this abandonment, and then there's the whole fearfulness, because fear also shows up in the kidneys as well. And that's kind of how, like, those things that you read off, and actually I have that book too, by the way. But I'm like, it's a great book. But those things, are very prevalent in her life and have been for a number of years. And so, just the abandonment issues and, the family dynamics and all those kinds of things. So she's dealing with a lot of that. And she's aware of it. I just don't know how much of it she's actually processing through and releasing and letting go and, kind of moving forward. I really don't know. But I do know that she is aware of that. She does know that there are those issues that are showing up in the kidneys, and she's not necessarily on medications for the kidneys yet, Tiffany. She is on a transplant list, though, because both of her kidneys, with the polycystic disease, you basically have these kidneys that grow and grow and grow. These or these cysts, rather, that grow and grow on the kidneys and enlarge them and cause them to dysfunction. The kidneys basically kind of are suffocated by the cyst, is really what's happening. So, yeah, I had thought about her when I heard you guys talking, and so I said, well, let me go and see, let me ask this question, because I'm always, she does see a naturalist, doctor and all of that. She and I both do, actually, but she does see a naturalist doctor, and so the doctor has given her some different herbal suggestions. There was some kind of black currant something, or some kind of black something extract or something like that she had her taking, and some other things, that she also had her taking to help with those symptoms, because she's basically at this point at about a 5 or 6% kidney function.
Wow.
And which is a miracle, that she's not on dialysis or anything. So that's definitely a straight up miracle from God.
Wow.
I mean, just a miracle, but she is on the kidney transplant list and all those things. So I'm always just kind of looking around and kind of thinking about things as I've kind of walked with her in these few years with her.
Yeah,
with this disease that she has.
And one more thing I want to add too, we were kind of talking about this earlier, but it keeps getting worse. And most people probably don't want to hear this, but it keeps getting worse because, like, her body wants her to acknowledge it. Her body wants her to heal what she's going through, and what, like, all of the trauma that Trey was saying, as well as, what I was saying about just taking care of her body, in general, like mind, body, and spirit, just taking care of it better, and bringing more awareness and actually wanting to make that change. Like, it's going to keep getting worse if she does not, make that change.
And honey, I would strongly suggest you encouraging an energy session, whether you do it locally with someone like me, because energy sessions are really a fast cleanse of all of the bodies, the mental, emotional, and physical, and it really does help when you work with either shamanic or energy workers who use multiple things, because it just really, it's almost like the first mental and emotional shower pots and pan cycle that they've gotten in. It really just really helps to do a quick reset, you know. So I strongly encourage them, again, whether you find one locally or remotely. I believe that true healers can, I do remote sessions all the time. So honey, it will help a fast reset if she's open, because as long as they're open, the energy works well. So again, like I said, we'll just keep praying for her and sending her loving energy and all that serves her highest and greatest good, because really God wants her to gain the wisdom. So then she's going to take this story and empower others of how she healed herself, and generations of like you said, this is a repeated pattern programming. And what do we talk about?
Yes, all coming full circle.
Absolutely. And she actually does, our naturalist actually does energy work as well. And so I don't necessarily ask her about her session specifically, but I know that our naturalist is very, aware of what's going on with her and her body, because she is treating her specifically for those things. So I will just ask her when I talk to her, has she been recently, and what kinds of things is she doing currently? But I know that she has been definitely open to those things. The naturalist that we go to does the energy work and the cranial work and those kinds of things on her, which, like you said, Trey, are definitely really important, because we really have to allow the body, or give the body space and the equipment to really heal itself, because it's really been designed to heal itself.
Yes.
But
and it wants to. It wants to. Yeah. It's like, please, like Tiffany said, that's why it's like coming up to the surface, because it's like, here, hey, look at me, address me. Can you pay attention to me? I want you to address me. I'm waving my hands over here. You're missing it, Chrissy, on the live. We're like waving our hands, going, help me, help me. All right. Well, but I totally get that, though. I love your questions. I'm so grateful. So feel free to continue to back channel Tiffany or I. We'd love to continue to support your friend and or you, however it turns out. But we better wrap this lunch and learn up. We're going to honor everyone's time. Y'all, this is Trey with that crazy Trey Talk. Tiff.
Thank you guys so much for another session being here. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be with us right now, and we are so grateful. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And Trey, if there's anything else you want to say to close.
I just love you guys. Laugh and learn. Live your best life.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you guys for coming.
Bye, guys. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. All right. All right. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You guys, thanks for rocking it with us. Showing up. See you next week.
Bye.